And this is probably a good conversation to open to. So, I am open up to all kinds of points of view. It's just, if you're coming from a program and it's obvious there's no sense. I mean, there's billions of points of view from, I'm not open to that shit. I'm open to points of view that come from your own point of view. For instance, I was able, my first wife was Guatemalan. I hung around a lot of Hispanics. I hung around a lot of blacks. I hung around a lot of different whites from different, from the country, whether country or redneck or, whatever. A whole bunch of different whites. So, just different perspectives on how people look at life and take things and their families and how things work and how they just view things. So so when whatever generation it is that quit working a couple years back, whenever they started doing that shit, I was pissed. I was like, what the fuck, man? Because I come from the mindset of you work, you grind, that's what you do. If you want anything, you got to work and grind, period. You can bitch and complain, but you have to work and grind. That's the mindset I was always in. So now that my legs got cut out from underneath me 9 months ago, and I was no longer able to do that, it slowed me down, and since then I've been able to take on that perspective and see that these younger generations, like my daughter's, she's 18, are sitting there looking at these crazy cocksuckers like me in their 40s, 50s, 60s that have broken, like these older guys who have broken their bodies and minds down from just working their dicks off to afford all the breads and circuses of this world. And by the time they're 60, they're broken. Working men, not people who attend board meetings. Even though that can be stressful too, I'm just saying, there are harder things in life. So I have changed my stance, you know what I mean? I'm like, I understand now, like these kids were sitting here looking at us going, wait a minute, motherfuckers. So you're telling me we need to do more of what you guys are doing and things are going to get better, as they're sitting here watching the world burn. And they're afraid to go outside. So what I'm saying is that's crazy. That's insane. Right? That's insanity. So thankfully, it worked out because I was killing myself. I bamboozled myself. So what I'm trying to say is, when I do I'm healing myself by speaking this shit, because this is stuff that I have been saying the whole time, but it was, in other ways, and probably drunk and God knows, and out of complete anger and whatever else. So now I'm able to speak these things and just be confident that is how things are. You know what I mean? To change my stance like that is huge on these issues. I've completely changed my stance on all these issues. And the reason I keep bringing space up is because I know a lot of you believe in space, or are so obsessed with things to do with space. And we have so many problems right here in our own zone right here that I'm just trying to say that's a distraction. You've put so much belief and thought into these things, and that is dangerous because you might be like, well, what does it harm anything if I want to believe the earth is round, or I want to believe we're spinning 30,000 miles an hour? I don't want to believe all this shit. Believe whatever you want. All I'm trying to say is just be aware of the fact that the reason they even give you these programs and they make these things is to keep you on the hook, because it causes cognitive dissonance. So at any moment they can cause some kind of space issue, and then they have your attention. You know what I mean? It's mind control, guys. It's basic. This is very basic. This is extremely, extremely basic mind control. Extremely basic mind control. I remember when I had gotten out of the military, and it was before I started my business. And I was just reading a bunch of books, and I've read some college level books on advertising. And I was blown away. And that's when I first learned that, oh my God, all the colors, all the shapes in the grocery store and all these stores, everything is on purpose. These advertisers, they're using mind control. From the colors to the shapes to the numbers to the words, it's all mind control, you know? And then once I realized that, I was like, fuck, so nothing's like organic. It's all fucking a game. Everything's a game. Your diet is a game. You go into a grocery store, it's a game. Everything's outside of you is a game, is what I'm trying to say. And that's just the reality of things. And I accepted it at a young age because I understood, because I was like, well, they're sitting here. This is what they're teaching and advertising to the college students. This is how they're doing advertising. And this started way before then. They've known this way before then. I'm just saying this is when I became personally, remember becoming aware of it. And, and it changes your life, because you go into a store and you started realizing, oh my God, it's wow. And your eyes are open, you know what I mean? And that's how you go through life, is learning these things and just realizing and being honest and not being afraid, just realizing that the system is set up this way. It's all set up for bamboozlement. It's all set up to deaden your mind and not make you think. It's the whole schooling system, the whole education system is for that purpose. All these poisons they put in your veins is for this purpose. The fluoride they put in your water is for this purpose. The chemicals they put in your air is for this purpose. I mean, and I can go on and on and on and on and on. To your conductive clothing. I mean, it doesn't end, guys. That's what I'm saying. The whole fucking thing. The whole thing. None of it's good. None of it is organic. None of it's good. It's all made up. It's all a fantasy. You're living in somebody else's world and trying to figure, oh my God, why didn't it make sense? Because it never was meant to make sense. It's meant to be an endless search, But anyways, I just wanted to make that a quick video that, as far as perspectives go, I hated, I was so pissed at these kids for not wanting to work. I mean, my son was working with me at the time. You can ask him. I mean, I was talking to customers, going into it, man, because I was looking for people to hire. I wanted to hire, then I could have perpetuated the abuse, and then I wouldn't have to work, and I could make other people work for me and make my money, like my rich family told me is the way to do it. That's the way to do it. Crazy, man. Make other poor people work for you. What the fuck, dude? It's just perpetuating the system. So, anyways, yeah, I was able to change my stance completely, 100%. Now I'm sitting there going, man, everybody needs to stop. Everybody just needs to stop. Stop working. That's the only way. Shut it all down. That's the best way. These kids had it. And they were doing it. And they were doing it individually. And they're smart. They're intelligent. And hopefully they don't get... The problem with these kids is they were born into AI. And hopefully most of them... I don't know. I don't know where they're at. I know my daughter's addicted to those earplug things and is on her phone all day. All day. Every day. So she's plugged in. And I imagine a lot of them are, And if you don't see any hope in this world and you were abused as a child and your best friend is your phone and your earplugs and your direct connection with those frequencies and that Wi-Fi, she was having a bad problem with insomnia the other day. And I told her, I just said, look, Sammy, you're an adult. I'm not trying to tell you what to do. And I got upset because, that's just the way my brain is. So, I just wanted to let her know that I'm just, because what I got to do is just say things seriously, and then I get them out to her, and I'm like, look, I'm sorry, I'm just getting it out. And she's like, okay, So I told her, I said, look, it's because you got that in your ear. I said, it makes you have insomnia, it gives you these issues, all these issues, makes you sick, makes you, all these issues she was having. And I just, I spent like less than 2 minutes telling her that, and then we ended it. Well, she came to me a couple of days later and she said she slept much better, and now she's sleeping much better. I'm telling you, these frequencies are no joke, guys. And there's a difference between holding my phone here and up to my head, but at the same time, they can target. It's crazy, man. Just be aware of all that shit. And, don't be aware of, so I keep mentioning this space thing because you have to be able to get rid of these things, man. Because at any given moment, what they're doing is, it's not just you. If you're thinking that, then that means most people your age are probably thinking that. So they know that they got all the data. They know they got all the numbers. They know exactly what to pull, what to say, what to do, what to put out there in the media, when to do it, how to do it. Exactly, by the numbers. If you've never studied gematria, everything's planed out. It's fucking ridiculous. But so they're just playing you, and that's what I'm saying. If you're like, well, it's not a big deal that I believe in space, just tell me what the truth is. That's a major issue that you would even say that or think that, because for many reasons. But I just want you to understand this programming. It's like my program that was running in the background that was going, well, so upset at these other humans who are refusing to work without understanding their point of view. And I was hurting like they're hurting, even more so, because I had actually hurt myself for years and decades, And instead of being comfy and loving, like I said, I didn't even love myself. And that's what it took to be a slave in this system for as many years as I did. I could not love myself because I was hurting myself every day. I was pushing myself. You know what I mean? And that's important to understand and understand that, is that, yes, you can do these things, but you're not understanding. You're going against your you're going against your natural, at what we're even here for, man. This shit's so fucking far out there, dude. It's unnatural. Everything we're doing is a complete backwards of how we're supposed to be living and the humanity that we're supposed to have. It's crazy. So just things to think about. Don't be afraid to change your stance. Don't be afraid to question things. Don't be afraid to realize, hey, wait a minute, man, this space thing really isn't that big a deal. Why am I fucking stressing this shit? Let me you know what? Maybe it is all bullshit. Let me put it on the back burner for now and focus on myself and heal. But quit promoting and pushing it and putting all these emotions towards it, And that goes with everything. That goes with all these belief systems. So, anyways, I just wanted to get that out there. That was 9 months ago that I started on the journey of changing my mind about these kids not working. And now 9 months, 10 months later, I'm sitting here going, oh my God, they were doing the exact thing they needed to do. Because that's all you can do as an individual. Just stop. That is your power as an individual. That's why what they did was so powerful. It got my attention. I just didn't listen. I didn't understand, because it was like my programming from a very young age was, you work. You fucking work. You can complain, but you have to work. And these kids just turned that whole thing on its head. And yeah, that got rid of my programming for me was, oh, fuck, man. No, wait a minute. What am I talking about? This whole fucking work thing is a whole abuse programming. So you know what I'm saying? So hopefully that helps people understand that, I just came out of abuse. I'm just understanding my abuse programming,